Good morning, afternoon, evening, doesn't really matter what time it is for you. Um, the point is welcome. Excuse me. The point is welcome. Today, I want to make a project, a series, if you will, that will basically entail key aspects and key characteristics that can help you lead yourself to something better. And when I say that, I don't mean to take every word that comes out of my mouth as the word of God or the ultimate truth, but I mean it more so as a guideline, you know? I believe the position that I have entered into has become a lot more prominent. It holds a lot more inertia, if you will, and it's allowed me to access more of my mind, if that makes sense. So I have some copal incense, copal incense burning in the back. It's to clear out negative energy. You know the deal. I have these ceremonial bells. I'm just gonna ring them a couple times so that we can get some energy cleared out here. It's recommended to breathe, but I can't tell you what the fuck to do. All right. So I'm gonna keep this short and simple. Basically, we often get in our own way, right? We believe that our life has to have some kind of framework, our life has to have some kind of pattern, and our life has to have some kind of similarity to others around us in order for us to feel whole. Well, the issue is that's a systemic belief that you've inherited from not wanting to be socially declined, if that makes sense. More often than not, your path truly does align with going against the grain, if that makes sense. And when I mean the grain, I mean like what people tell you your life path should be, what you believe your life path is based on the decisions you make out of negativity, worry, anxiety, things like that. What I mean is, more often than not, we tend to resist our own energy. And in doing so, we start rejecting our perspectives, right? Let's take this space I'm in, for example. I did not believe that I was going to ever have this kind of space for myself. You know what I mean? Just this room alone is detail in and of itself that I have stepped into a new plethora of self and it's being reflected in my physical reality, right? If you cannot grasp your mind around the concept of what I say and do builds my reality, then you will never be able to access your subconscious mind and start really breaking down the details that will help you get somewhere, right? And when I mean somewhere, I mean just where you want to be. You don't have to have all this kind of stuff around you to feel like you're somewhere, right? More often than not, we put ourselves inside of this box, inside of these standards, inside of these limitations, so that we feel like we're accomplishing something. But if you're not truly present and full in the heart, and you're not present in the mind, and you're not aware in the spirit, then you end up making decisions that, sure, can have you comfortably in a spot, but will they truly fulfill your needs? Will they truly fulfill your purpose? Will they truly satisfy your soul? Will they truly fill your cup, as a lot of spiritual people like to say, right? I'm here to tell you that filling your cup is never linear, okay? Uh, I've always wanted a dog, right? And I have my very good buddy. Oh, wrong side, my fault. I have my very good buddy here, Legend, right? He's 7 years old. I always envisioned myself having a puppy, a different kind of animal, or maybe even a cat, right? But the universe bestowed upon me a very patient, a very loving, a very kind animal who is showing me how worthy I am to be, right? When you're given a lot of, I would say, motion, right? A lot of what I like to call inertia, which is, the momentum, right? When you're given a lot of say in the momentum, more often than not, you'll doubt yourself. You'll believe, oh shit, this isn't for me, or oh, I shouldn't be here, or oh, this isn't really happening right now. And it could be happening right in front of your face, but you're rejecting it because you're rejecting yourself. There's characteristics that you adapted from childhood that you're causing self inflicted pain with by carrying them into the present, right? I can't tell you specifically how to access your own mind, right? This is where metacognition comes in, which is the process of awareness of thought, right? Metacognition is basically recognizing your own thought patterns and learning how one thought can lead to another and how the recurring thoughts you have shape your mindset, your dialect, and your way of being, right? It's very difficult because you have to put in the work for yourself. You can't go to somebody, you can't even go to me. All I can do is give you the insight that it's possible, right? I can't make you go, go on a soul search. I can't make you meditate. I can't make you read this. I can't make you read that. But I can tell you that taking these steps, taking intentional action to develop your character, to develop your being, to develop your spirit, it will have dividends paid in the long run. Take this space, for example. Excuse me, I just ate. All I've ever done in the past 6 years is figure out, number one, who I am, number two, where I want to go, and number three, how to be present. And number three is the biggest one, because if you're not present, bro, where the fuck are you? Like, genuinely, right? But we believe that in order to be present, we have to have we have to have a comfortable space, or we have to have $1 million, or we have to take a breath, slow down. All presence requires is the awareness of being, meaning you have to understand that you're here. You have to understand that even if it doesn't feel like it, your energy has an impact on what's going on around you. And more importantly, you are what's impacting the energies surrounding you, right? Even if it doesn't feel like it, you have more momentum than you believe. Have you ever thought of something and then suddenly like an ad pops up for it, or I don't know, let's say, you know what I'm saying, sriracha, right? I don't know why I have sriracha right here right now, but let's say you're thinking about sriracha, right? You're like, man, maybe I should go out to the store and go get some sriracha or something. And then you're on your phone and boom, an ad for sriracha pops up and it's like, this is the best brand sriracha, blah, blah, blah. And it got you thinking like, man, is somebody watching me? Is somebody monitoring what's going on? No. You just have that much manifestation power. You're that attuned into your spirit to where you can call on something from above and it'll come back down to you. That's called a download, right? Because you take it from up here and you process it in the crown and you bring it down into your body as an energetic frequency. You load it from down, right? These kind of things are very simple, right? It's just belief. It's intentionally putting your mind toward that effort, toward that action. Because if you just do it willy-nilly just because, you won't get the energetic benefit from it. But when you put your brain to it, you wire your frequencies to attune to that output. And once that output comes, it reciprocates physically, right? Let's say I'm feeling dysmorphic, right? I want to change the way my body looks. There's 3 major physical actions I can take for this. One, I can start affirming to myself, speaking to myself in a manner that the version of me with the physique would speak in, right? Two, I can change my diet. I can start eating differently. I can start eating better. I can start eating more or less depending on what physique I wish, right? And three, I can start training, right? These three aspects are all mind, body, and spirit practices, okay? It's very important that when you set an intention, you act upon it. You know, as they say, observation without action is incompetence. Don't be incompetent. Observe your issue, analyze the proper and efficient action, and do it. It doesn't have to be a gigantic leap, it doesn't have to be a gigantic stride. All it has to be is an intentful action. And if anything, doing a small intentful action will gain you more than any grand gesture ever would. Because if you've seen it in our world, people who have the largest social media explosions, the largest profile blow ups in days, they end up falling off the face of the earth in weeks. When's the last time you've heard something from Charli D'Amelio? You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that she's not making great content. She probably is, right? But what I'm saying is she's not at the forefront of, social media like she was so many years ago. And that's because as time goes on, if you don't have a consistent energetic foundation in what you've built, it will crumble before you know it. Tell 'em, legend. The reason that I've been given the things I've been given, the responsibilities, the gifts, the allocation of space is because purpose-wise, I am intending for myself to be a cornerstone, a pillar of leadership and of intent. I want people to reflect on what I've done with my life and what I'm doing in life and believe, okay, if this guy can step into a position of leadership from this, I should be more than able to. There's no point in learning all of these esoteric concepts and not sharing them. There's no point in becoming the smartest person in the world and not helping someone else become more intelligent, right? Like I said, observation without action is just incompetence. You have to be proactive. You have to be on top of yourself. You have to keep moving. You have to. It's a part of your genetic code. We're animals. We're designed to move, right? When you take the intent of, I'm going to be better, you are going to face resistance. You're going to face intense resistance. But it's all part of the plan, right? If the universe wasn't resisting you, not showing you places where you can improve, you're stagnating, right? If you're not constantly in a, how can I build this? If you're not constantly trying to build something, then you're just stuck. You're never, unless you get yourself out of that mindset, right? The hardest part of that is people ask, where do I start? Where do I begin? You start with here. You start with this right here. You look inside that mirror. Here, I'll show you. You can't really see it, but there's a mirror on this door. There we go. See, you look into that mirror right there, and you ask it, who am I? And when you say, who am I, you need to understand that you're asking, what characteristics am I created of? What are my triggers? What are my phrases? What are my patterns? that create the conscious existence that I reside in? Who am I? What do I do that resonates with my mind, body, and spirit? What do I say that creates my subconscious? What do I feel that confirms the reality I exist in? It doesn't have to be pretty, bro. It doesn't have to be pretty at all. It can be the grimiest of the grimy. But what matters is that you're aware of it. Your energy is present in it. You can soak it in. Your conscious is developed in it. That's the most important part. You all right, buddy? When you take your first step in this journey, you're going to want to give up right away. If I were to sit here and give you hope, be some kind of everything will be sunshine and rainbows on your self-worth journey, I wouldn't be doing this shit. I wouldn't waste my breath telling you, but I understand that with great power comes great responsibility, and it is up to me as a human being, as a teacher and a student, to take it upon myself to be that cornerstone that other people who are seeking to find their purpose can rely on, right? Be that presence that people can lean on and lead from, right? I don't want people to take the examples that I give them and follow them by heart. I want them to reverse engineer and adapt them. I want them to take the concept of the belief, break it down, and understand what these materials in front of them are. I want people to recognize that they're more capable with the information I'm bestowing than I was. Because when I developed this information, when I learned these processes, I was in a much worse place. I wasn't as capable, but I pushed myself to be so. And the fact that you're here means you're capable of absorbing the information at a much better rate than I ever would have. So have faith in that. Have solace in that. See the people that are true leaders around you and be assured in the fact that they're truly putting you in a place that'll be better, right? And I don't mean people who are just in positions of leadership. I mean people who guide, people who teach, who take actions that help others, people who design their life around building something, people who create gardens and not just, not just farms, right? That's all I got for now. Be safe, be healthy. Please drink some water if you haven't. Very important. We're made up of, 2/3 of us is water. It's very important that we get your water up. I love you. Have a great day, night, afternoon, whatever the fuck.